Kutna Hora. Thanks to its silver mines, which were open for 250 years, Kutna Hora was, after Prague, the second most important town in the Bohemian kingdom. During the 14th century, its population was equal to that of London's. Today it is just a small provincial town with just over 20,000 people. There are plenty of beautiful Gothic churches to see, such as St Barbara's Cathedral, 1388 to 1565, one of the most beautiful Czech Gothic buildings, the Italian court, Vlašský dvůr, with its royal mint, where the famous Prague groschers were minted, which at that time represented the hard currency of Central Europe, the Stonehouse and the St James's Church, etc. In the year 1995, Kutna Hora was declared a World Heritage Site and since has been protected by UNESCO. These days the town benefits from tourists and from the Philip Morris tobacco factory. North of Kutna Hora is Sedlec, where in the 19th century the Cistercian ossuary was turned into a macabre work of art by František Rint. There are bone monstrances, chandeliers and even a Schwarzenberg coat of arms. What to see? St Barbara's Cathedral. St Barbara is actually the patron saint of miners, and this cathedral dedicated to her is one of the best examples of Gothic architecture in the whole of Europe. The inside and outside are both lavishly decorated, and the massive windows are an absolute joy to behold. The side chapels are mostly decorated in a unique and interesting way, and often show miners working as they would have done at the time of the cathedral's creation. The stained glass windows weren't added until the 20th century, though. Other objects of interest within this cathedral include the pulpit, dating from 1655, the organ case from the 16th century, and the altar, which is a replica of the original neo-Gothic design. Ossuary, Sedlec. Cemetery chapel from the end of the 14th century, rebuilt in the Baroque style by J.B. Santini. The bones, which have decorated the interior of the chapel since the 16th century, were from the adjoining cemetery. Italian court. Originally the central mint where the Prague groschen were produced, it became a temporary seat of the king after reconstruction at the end of the 14th century. Church of St John of Nepomuc, late Baroque building designed by František Maximilian Kanka and built in 1734 to 1754. The remarkable ceiling paintings depict the legend of St John of Nepomuc. A series of statues called Czech Heaven celebrates Czech patron saints. Christi Chapel, unfinished Gothic building from the turn of the 15th century intended as an ossuary. It is one of the few completely preserved examples of High Gothic. The terrace affords an impressive view of the town. Kutna Hora is situated 65 kilometres east from Prague. By bus 70 minutes from Prague-Florence station, by train 55 minutes from the main train station. If you don't want to use public transport, consider booking an excursion.